Good evening, friends. Welcome to Up, Up, Down, Down, Left, Right, Amen. Perhaps you thought I was a scary bear, but really, this mask is because tonight's game is a delightful animal reskin of a much worse thing. Oh man, I am so excited tonight, and not just because of this music. I hope this music continues. I don't remember if it does or not. Goodness. Tonight, we are back with a Wisdom Tree game. Perhaps the Wisdom Tree game. Oddly enough, this is one of their most legit ones in that it's actually licensed. So Wisdom Tree are the old school kings of Christian gaming. They weren't actually Christians themselves, oddly enough. Life is weird. But they realized that, they were making unlicensed Nintendo games because they figured out how to make unlicensed Nintendo games. They were one of the first companies to do so. But a lot of stores were scared of selling unlicensed Nintendo games because what if Nintendo doesn't let you sell other games? Or sell their games, rather, if you're selling unlicensed games. So, they devised a scheme. And they had been putting out games for a couple of years as a company called Color Dreams. And they reskinned a bunch of those games. And then started making more games in order to get them into Christian bookstores as Christian games, where they had a captured market. 9,000 stores, give or take, on any given year, especially at its peak, but probably even today, though now they're all Lifeways. So yeah, we played one Wisdom Tree game before with Spiritual Warfare, the game we started out this project with, and I loved it. It's so much fun. You throw fruit at the devil until his head explodes. How could anything be better than that? But this one exists in a very weird place in sort of video game cultural history. As I recall, or as far as I know, rather, it's kind of a meme now. There are young kids, high schoolers, teenagers who know this game. It's just weird. It's weird that it exists. It's weird that it continues to exist. As you can see, copyright 2014. We're not playing the original Super Nintendo release of this game. We're playing a version released through Steam. It's not even the most recent thing Wisdom Tree has done. Wisdom Tree has since continued to produce games, license their own stuff. In 2016, they had a successful Kickstarter for the Arcade, a regular Nintendo controller that plugs directly into your TV and has a built-in emulator so you can play any of their regular Nintendo games. But we're not playing a regular Nintendo game tonight, we're playing a Super Nintendo game, their only Super Nintendo game. Though it started life as a regular Nintendo game, and that's where things get really, really interesting. The background on this game is wild. According to Gabe Durham's history of the company in his book Bible Adventures, it turns out the Wisdom Tree's sister company Color Dreams started production on what would become Super 3D Noah's Ark. They licensed the Wolfenstein 3D engine from its software. There are rumors, unsubstantiated and probably false, that id gave them the license just as a way of punishing Nintendo because Nintendo had made them make significant cuts to the Super Nintendo release of Wolfenstein 3D. The timeline's really muddled here. And maybe not all of these things can be true, but I'm going to tell you what I know, or what I have learned. Mostly from Durham's book, but some other internet stuff thrown in here and there, I'm sure. So, this is not the game they intended to make. They did not intend to make a Christian game. They did not intend to make it for the Super Nintendo. They got the Wolfenstein 3D engine, and they tried to make a regular Nintendo game with it. Now, a regular Nintendo cannot run the Wolfenstein engine. Absolutely not. So they created what they called a super cartridge. And the super cartridge had a processor in it, and 4 gigs of RAM, and enough processing power to triple the speed of the regular Nintendo. And their plan was to use that, along with some coding to backdoor it in so that the Nintendo would do it, to emulate 16-bit color on an 8-bit machine by rapidly switching the colors back and forth. They could never get that programming worked out. They spent years trying to do it. And after a very, very long time and some other technical problems, they eventually also realized that Wisdom Tree was doing pretty well, and if they released the game that they were intending to release, maybe they'd lose the Christian bookstores, and that would be a problem for their bottom line. So what was this game? This incredibly ambitious game. There's a game that was so ambitious, actually, that the super cartridge would have cost $100 retail, which is mind-blowing, even at the time. Or especially at the time? I don't know. Video games have always been a weird price point, aren't they? Anyway, the game they intended to make, and where this gets super duper wild, the head founder of Color Dreams, the founder of Wisdom Tree, was in love with a movie so much he called it Kabbalistic. He had some religious tingling in his interpretation of the film, but he loved this movie so much that he thought, I need to make a video game of this movie. And then Wolfenstein came out, and he thought, I need to use the Wolfenstein engine to make a video game of this movie because it's perfect. And what movie was that? It was Clive Barker's 1987 classic horror film, Hellraiser, a movie about interdimensional sex demons. Yeah, they decided that maybe they shouldn't make that game, and also they were about to bankrupt themselves trying to do it. So instead, what they did was trash all of that work, let the $50,000 movie license that they paid lapse, and instead took what they had, the engine for Wolfenstein 3D, and just reskin it. So, Super 3D Noah's Ark, all of the level designs are Wolfenstein designs. All of the item locations are Wolfenstein item locations. The monsters in this game are animals, because instead of shooting Nazis, what we're doing is feeding animals, but the enemies exist in the same spots that they exist in Wolfenstein 3D, and they act the same. Instead of men with guns, they are animals who will headbutt you or kick you, but they can do so at distance because the programming was not changed whatsoever. They just did a palette swap. I'm just so happy about all of that, and then on top of it, the 16-bit ska music that is this intro screen, I am in love with. I am just so much in love with. Here's the thing. I'm not good at Wolfenstein 3D. I don't imagine I'm going to be good at Super 3D Noah's Ark. But we're going to have some fun playing. It's going to be a lot more fun than Left Behind, certainly. So let's get in here. Read this. Probably should. Alright. So those are my controls. Good. Menu, resize the window. Don't need to do that. Game controls are on F6. Story. Good. It's been a long journey for Noah and the gang aboard the Ark. Just a few more days, Noah and his family will be on dry land once again. Unfortunately, there's a whole zoo of restless animals who want off the ark more than Noah does. It's up to you to help Noah make the animals go to sleep by feeding them. It's a big ark with a lot of critters, and around every corner, you'll find a new adventure. Maneuver through the ark and calm the animals. Along the way, you will find bandages to heal yourself, gather fruit, acquire better food launchers that will feed the animals faster, and discover secret passages and levels. Guide Noah to the staircases at the end of each level as quickly as you can. Along the way, help Noah feed as many animals, gather as much fruit, and discover as many secrets as possible. There's my keyboard instructions, introduction to my weaponry, feeding tools. I can hand feed. It's very dangerous because you gotta get too close. We've got the small feed launcher, which is just a slingshot. We've got the large feed launcher, a multi-shot slingshot. The Super Feeder 5000, an automatic slingshot. Hidden in the ark, Noah will eventually find the super launchers. The cantaloupe and watermelon feeders for the dirty animals. Clean animals were used for food and are found throughout the ark. As Noah, you'll run these troublemakers quite a bit. Goats, sheep, antelopes, ostriches, oxen. Unclean animals are our bosses. They're a little more powerful. We've got Carl the camel. Their definitions of clean and unclean biblically are a little askew, but we'll allow it. Carl the camel, Ginny the giraffe, Carrie the kangaroo, Melvin the monkey, and Ernie the elephant. Oh, and Bert the bear. Bert doesn't have a mustache, though. Okay. Collecting breadcrumbs, bandages will heal health, and there's quizzes. Gotta have quizzes. That's what makes a good game a Bible game, is its Bible trivia questions. Cool. Small feed box. Okay, just ammo boxes. Cool. Get an extra life if I collect 50 fruit. Keys for the doors. An auto 1-up. And the map for the floor. Hidden rooms on every floor. That's Wolfenstein 3D famous for its shortcuts and hidden rooms. Slight differences on the walls. Cool. 2 secret exits which lead to a secret level somewhere on the ark. Try to feed all the animals, find all the fruit, and all the secrets. You'll be rewarded. Cool. Well, we'll fight Carl the camel first. Dare I? Should I? Normal I'm not going to do. I like... Oh, that's very good. I mean, that's very Wolfenstein 2, too. Super easy, he's very happy. Easy, he's a little cautiously happy. Getting a little cautious. Now he's just angry. Oh, man. I am so bad at these games. Let's go with easy. Be out of the ark in 6 days, Noah. Unfortunately, the animals are a tad bit restless and want to get out now. Good thing you brought all that food with you. You'll need it to put the busy ones to sleep. At the end of the first day, be prepared to deal with Carl the camel. He's been real cranky lately. He's a bit out of control. Good luck, and be careful. I have a feeling, theologically, there'll be less to deal with in this game. Alright. Up is to... Oh, I'm wasting ammo. Got myself some fruit. Oh, there's a goat. And I put that goat to sleep. Get that mouse pointer off. Yeah, it's very Wolfensteinish. Just broken cages around. Doors. Sleeping goats. I don't really need that yet. Alright. Oh boy, that's... I found some pumpkins and got kicked by a goat. Is it a dead end? Or is there a hidden door? I don't think there's a hidden door. I haven't played a first-person shooter in a very long time. In my teens, I was very much obsessed with Counter-Strike. So I played that a lot. And then I didn't anymore. Oh, I died. Wasn't even paying attention to my health. I did play a lot of console shooters for a while. Golden Eyes, first generation Halo was probably the last one I really played. This music is so good. He opened the door himself. It's very hard to tell. The hitbox here. Some life at least. Almost died again. Oh, we got a quiz. How many people were on Noah's Ark? 4, 6, or 8? Noah and his 3 sons and all of their wives. That's 8. Cool. Well, that's pretty clearly a different wall. Some bananas. All right. A lot of fruit. There, as I will probably need it later. Or down here I missed, there was. Little vat of water, little vat of food, I guess. Some world building going on. those barrels? I don't think I can. Nope. Can't waste ammo on them. This will be another one-off, by the way. I'm not going to play this game to completion. I have zero interest in spending weeks trying to beat this. Hey! That one's a little more secretive. Go to Noah Pennant to give me my better weapon. Alright, still uses one bullet, uses the same bullets. Was I just in here? I was. Huh. Alright. Why do some doors close and others don't? Oh, this is where I started. So where haven't I been yet? Here? It's a lot brighter than Wolfenstein 3D is. This would probably be a good primer. You play this before you play Wolfenstein 3D. And then you'll know the secrets and where to go. Speaking of secrets and where to go, I don't know where to go. I have obviously been here. I don't think I've been here yet. Well, I think there's the staircase. Only got 47 fruit. Well, I have... I don't know how well that was. Apparently, pressing W is what forces you through those menus, because I was still holding W when I hit the stairs. And it took me to the next level. Oh, now there's curtains. Cool. And hiding enemies. This music is so good. See if any of these curtains are secret passages. Don't seem to be. Alright, that's everybody. Oh. Locked door. Much tighter, oh. Kicking my butt. Much tighter quarters in this one. I've got 1 health left. Be careful out here. I like how the objects always face me. That's an interesting choice. Cool. Lots of fruit. How about some health? Will health some work? Well, at least I got an extra man's. Right, I think this room is done. Now I gotta remember how to get out. Let's make sure there's not another way out. Alright, looks like that's it. Maybe? Yeah, this is where. It's definitely where I came in. Came in. Let's start. There's the door. Now I'm in the yellow zone. Ah! Lost my good gun. Shouldn't open doors. That's just mean. I'm gonna die again. Oh, shoot. Well, this is how good at these games I am. This music is golden. I gotta figure out who did this music. Alright. I think I did slightly better that time. Alright, questionable definitions of fruit. Single bananas, bunches of grapes. What appear to be pumpkins instead of what might be oranges. On easy. That's how poorly I'm playing on easy. Alright, got a key. There's a goat. There's at least a... Hitbox. Very bad hitbox. Alright, last time the moss was an indication of a secret room. This time it is not. Or doesn't seem to be, at least. It's a very big room. Door. Let's go. Well, that's gotta be a secret. I like a game that telegraphs its secrets. Something attacking me? Because if so, I've got the super launcher. Weird. Really wasting ammo this time with this thing. I don't have gun number 2 though. Alright, well. That's where I had the secret passage. Well, I can hit him at distance, but it takes a lot of ammo. Wow. More Noah pennants around. All right. There we go. No bonus. Par time was 1 minute. I spent 6.5. Pretty good music too. Let's Google real quick, see if we can find who did the music for this. According to Google, the music was done by a man named Vance Kozik. On Moby Games, he is listed as the designer for Spiritual Warfare and Exodus, Journey of the Promised Land. In-house guy for Wisdom Tree, it seems. Did programming, additional coding on Sunday Fun Day. which hopefully we'll play eventually. It's a skateboarding game. Joshua and the Battle of Jericho he programmed on Spiritual Warfare, on Bible Adventures, on Menace Beach, which is also a skateboarding game. They reskinned their own skateboarding game to make Sunday Fun Day. I would assume then that they converted Forbidden Forest. And he also wrote a game called Slinky in '83. But he did... Hey, there you go. He did the music for this, and he did the music for Spiritual Warfare. The MIDI version of Father Abraham that plays repeatedly, I think, if I remember correctly. Cool. Good job, Vance. I hope you are living your best life. I wonder if you are the same Vance Kozik, who is a senior project manager at AT&T. All right. Oh, there we go. I had to interact. So I missed a creature. I missed a whole room of fruit. I don't like how much ammo it's giving me in the first room. Why are there pictures of presumably Noah? Why did Noah fill his whole house with pictures of himself? Oh, and a duck. Okay, well, this is a boss battle. It is Sally the Camel. Who is spitting at me, it seems. The sound's very good. I am not going to beat this. I am certainly not going to beat this. Especially with one life left. Unless I get super lucky. And I will not get super lucky. Yep, there we go. Well, there's a lot of ammo, but I need a lot of health. There's game over. Well, I got a high score. Wow, I did a lot better than my test play when I first installed this months ago. The 1,000 or 10,000 point atom is not me. That is, as you can see, we've got Noah, Eve, Moses, Ruth, and Adam. They have just filled in the high scores with biblical names, of which mine is one, but I did not score exactly 10,000 points and die. Some more good music. Vance Kozik, making some good music. Good job, Vance. Family approved. I'm gonna just start skanking to this. Can't skank while sitting down. It's more of a leg dance. Alas. Well, I think we might just do a short one tonight, because there's no way I'm getting better at this game, not over the course of playing it. And there's really just not a lot to discover here, right? So, theologically, sure, why not? It's not abiblical. There are more goats on the ark than the Bible says there were. But it's one of those things. So it's 2 of every animal except 7 of select sort of agricultural animals. I think sheep, goats, some other things are listed specifically. I cannot remember offhand. Genesis 7 or 8. There are certainly animals here that were not known to the writers and readers. Well, probably not readers, listeners of the original works. Probably started in oral history. Anyway, no kangaroos mentioned directly in the Bible. Better chance of having direct access to a camel or a giraffe, possibly. Giraffe's also not mentioned in the Bible as far as I can recall. Camels, certainly, rather famously. Jesus says that it is easier for a camel to pass through the head of a needle, the eye of a needle, than for a rich person to go to heaven. There are many people who tell you, oh, see, that's a metaphor, because the eye of a needle was a special gate in part of Jerusalem, and yeah, in order for a camel to go through it, you had to unload it. And while that itself would be a great metaphor for rich people can only go to heaven if they completely unload themselves, it's also not true. That gate, that's not a real gate. That's just a story somebody made up a few decades ago, and it caught on because American Christians don't like to think about how the Bible condemns people having money, people having too much money, people being money hungry, and not sharing. Just people, hoarding resources when other people are starving. That's what the Bible's against. That's why it's so hard for a rich person to enter heaven, because they shouldn't be rich, especially in an economy like theirs and ours, where you can't get rich without exploiting someone. Don't exploit people. Duh. Anyway, Super 3D Noah's Ark, not a lot theologically going on here, unsurprisingly, so not a lot theologically to comment on, but a fun little game. Just a cartoony first-person shooter that is not a shooter, I guess. It's not non-violent. Well, I guess it is non-violent, because you're not actually... You know what you're doing, but you're feeding animals is what you're doing, and making them take naps. And isn't that a great lesson to learn? That instead of shooting guns at people, even very bad people, just share a meal with an animal, and then take a nap. This has been up, up, down, down, left, right. Amen. Thank you for watching, Christian Gamers. I am Adam Glass, as always, and I'll see you next week when we'll find another new Christian game to play. Maybe I'll see if I can figure out how to get Sunday Funday and emulate it or something, because I don't think that is one that they put on Steam. Or because this is a well that will never end, really. Well, I guess theoretically there is a pretty finite end to Wisdom Tree games, since they've mostly just re-released the same ones recently. But anyway, I will maybe try to play something not Wisdom Tree before we come back to another Wisdom Tree game. But this is fun. This is a great game with great music. There are obviously some programming problems on hitboxes that are mostly just by the fact that they turn large, muscular man enemies into very tiny goats that you have to shoot at. And yeah, who knows? Who knows where the programming wants you to shoot? I don't want to leave because I don't want to stop listening to this music. Oh man. Thank you so much, everybody. Stay hydrated. Demand utopia. I'm doing my part. Have a good night. We'll see you next week.